Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. So, lots going on. Tim's expanding down here into Nuevo Leon, and I'm here with Jonathan. Tim's not available right now. He's working. Hello, Jonathan. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Happy to be back. Thank you.
Woohoo! I've just seen that you've both got officers. Tim's got an officer in a big stack with 6 infantry and 3 combats. That's going to be difficult to beat. Officer's got good stats there. 7 attack against troops, 5 against armoured vehicles. And where's your officer? I saw it earlier today. There he is.
He is traveling through Arizona, currently on Kingman.
Oh, you've got a hospital there.
Well, yeah, it was formerly Arizona's. Took over the city, so I got the last remnants of it. I destroyed the army base that was on there. So when you destroy buildings, they give you a few little bits of materials. Most people have like a level 1 army base on a city, but you're not going to need it unless you annex that city. So
Yeah.
I like to always destroy the army base.
It's a good way to claw back a few resources, isn't it? Especially early game. So you're cracking into Arizona.
Yeah, I've got myself in a little bit of a situation because I took 3 of his cities and he had no troops there at all. So I was sitting here wondering where are all of his troops, and a bunch have just appeared in between 2 of his cities.
Oh,
So
yeah.
snuck
Oh.
behind me.
Oh dear. What are you going to do?
I'm just gonna have to turn around my big stack and chase after them. But I don't know what kind of game he's playing, but
Well,
I thought they were all hidden behind this wall of combat outposts he had to the east.
yeah, that's a bit weird. Don't know why he's got so many. Oh god, okay, that's going to be tricky, and that's kind of what happened with me and this Idaho guy. But we played cat and mouse for a bit, and I held a really good defensive line, and then I think he just went AFK after you took his capital and I took his 2 cities up here. So, oh god, that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, and he's got his his air superiority fighter just probably scouting, actually, isn't he? Just seeing what's where.
Yeah, where is that?
Just south of Kingsman.
Oh, right, yeah. He hasn't done anything with that. I think it's been there most of the day. Yeah, so I'm just kind of leaving him
Okay.
to that.
It's
He-
a
he-
fairly
he's not gonna be able to-
it's a
Yeah.
fairly powerful stack he's got, isn't it? 2 combat recons and 2 troops. They've just disappeared into that tile. He must have just taken that tile. So we don't necessarily know where he's going, but you can fly your air superiority fighter over that area and see where he goes, because then you can click on it and it tells you where he's heading to next. So that's a good way of scout. I've been using my air superiority plane hugely to see exactly where people are heading for, and then it helps you plan where to send all your troops. I'm sending a big stack into Missoula. I'm going for it. The next province, Montana, the next state. Go for that one, and then we've got a big bit of a big enemy forming. Actually, I think they're Colorado, aren't they? Originally, yeah. Colorado's a big player that we're both going to be bashing into. So what I might suggest is that when I've taken Montana and you've taken Arizona, we both crack into Colorado, because we'll be either side of him. That'll be monumental.
That would be really good. And then you could go for Cheyenne, and I will have a few cities surrounding me that I can go for. The one of them has already gone rogue, Albuquerque. What's happened there?
One of your cities.
No. One of Colorado's cities. Presumably one he's just taken.
Oh yeah,
He's got to put on troops.
it's because there's been that big change, hasn't there, in Rogue State? It just pops up any time in the day, and I did have one earlier, and they did give my troop a run for their money, because did you know something about them? They've got... So our troops at the moment have like 15 hit points, but I'm pretty sure the Rogue State has 25 hit points.
I think they spawn with a certain number of hit points, and it depends how low the morale is, or it might be random.
Okay, so that's something to look at.
Yeah. they're a lot easier to battle once your troops hit level 2 or 3. And also
Yeah.
both my cities went rogue and they were on 32%. So I don't know
Oh,
if I got really unlucky.
I think so. Because I've had some way lower than that. I've got one on 29, another one on 25. The 25 did go rogue just here, and really gave one of my troops a run for his money. So, but luckily I had another troop going in, and they've sort of amortized their health, averaged out their health when you join them together. I've got another big stack I've formed, and I'm going for Kelowna with 4 combat recons and a motorised infantry, and just trying to mop up this northern player. Really, I haven't actually seen any of his troops, so I don't know what's happened or where they've gone to. So at some point, I think he might have just gone AFK, but I'm gonna bump into a big stack somewhere. I'm pretty sure of that. So
Well,
pretty
it could
high.
cause us problems if they're not accounted for, just like with what's happening down in Arizona with me.
I'm gonna face some pretty big danger up there, and it's just gonna be a case of when. So I'm not looking forward to that. But this big stack down here, 4 combat recons, 4 troops. I'm just gonna bash through Missoula, then I'm gonna go straight onto Helena, Great Falls, and then Wolf Point, and I'm just gonna drop 1 troop as I go along until I've got and hopefully I won't take too much damage along the way. But I'll need to possibly send the odd reinforcement if I can get the odd troop, like National Guard maybe. Bash out some National Guard to help city sit and then take some of these provinces. So that's where National Guard's going to come in, and it'll be interesting to see how far this big stack can bash its way through and see if we can get all the way to the end, and then we'll have a think about Billings. So yeah, I'm just hoping to really go for it and take Montana, but it's not going to be that easy. But these cities, they don't have anything built on them apart from the airport. So hopefully I won't encounter too much resistance, but everyone starts off with quite a few troops, so that's going to be an interesting one. Have I built it? Oh yes, I've done it. I've built the level 2 airbase, and I'm now in the process of building an attack helicopter. That's going to come in really handy against like the vehicles, because the stats are 8.5 attack against vehicles, only 2.5 against troops. So I think I might want to see if I can research the other one as well, the gunship. That's really good against troops. 7 against troops, 7 attack. So 1 each of those, and I am in the process of researching the exceptional pilot. That's nearly done. Just need to make sure I've got. That's just click on it to change the stats. Need to make sure I've got 3,400 supplies. Should have the electronics, and I'm going to get a whole heap of attack. 9 against troops, 11 against the hard targets, the vehicles. So that could be a really nice stack of 3 ultimately when I get them. But either way, it's going to help this attack here, I think, as soon as I get anything. What are you researching at the moment?
Yeah, actually helicopters as well, and the experienced pilot. I've nearly finished doing that. So I'm going for a similar strategy. I'm going to get strike fighters as well as soon as I can. I'm getting the radar going. Quite a nice unit to have if you're adjacent to any countries that you want to keep an eye on, or if you've got any cities which you're worried about people invading, perhaps by the sea. Gives you a lot more warning. There's like a choke point which you want to monitor. Overall radar, they're very essential, and they're quite cheap to research early on. So that's another one I've gone for.
I've had a thought, and someone did say it in the comments, and I had been thinking about it anyway, and it's kind of prompted me, and yeah, no, it kind of has prompted me, because I was really set on it at one point, but I might have forgotten. And it's something I don't think any of us have built before. I'm pretty keen to research and build a UAV. Because apparently it can tell you the exact composition of an army, and like with your radar, it's just super handy to know what's coming, isn't it? So I think that's a really good thing to test out in this game, and I'm always saying that I want to try different ways of doing things and different army makeups in every single series as far as I can. So I'll do that. So we've got UAV, helicopters, helicopter pilot, all brand new. I've never done them before, even to a certain extent. And I know it's all talk and no show at the minute, but the National Guard as well. So try out all these different units and see if it works or not.
Yeah, there's a few important things to consider. Like if you look at the mobile radar at the higher levels, you've got like the range where it can view things, which is very large, but also it gets the the reveal of the exact composition of an army. But that range is a lot smaller. But with the UAV, presumably a big bonus is that it's just a lot more maneuverable. So you're not going to get a widespread coverage, but you're going to be able to target a specific area and see exactly what's there. And also another bonus you didn't mention is you can fly it into somebody else's country without declaring war.
Yeah. There we go. That's super handy. Yeah. And hopefully they can't shoot you down. I don't know how that would work.
I think they could very easily shoot you down, but they might not even get the notification that you're there, so they'll have to keep their eyes peeled. It's not something that I've seen a lot, but potentially if you use it very well and you've already got some kind of an indication where some units are, then it could be absolutely key.
Could be really useful. So it'd be really interesting to see how that unfolds. Just over this left-hand side, I had a stack of 2 combat recons over here, 2 combat recons and 2 troops over here and here. I had another troop that I lost, and I went into Idaho's. What did they have? They just had 2 troops and 1 combat recon, and I had 3 troops and 2 combat recons, and I lost a troop. So I guess that's not too bad a trade-off. I lost 1 troop, and they lost 2 troops and combat recon. Yeah, that's probably not too bad. So yeah, sending the combat recons back up here to get involved in the front line and just mopping up a few provinces with this guy, going all the way through, just seeing if I can clean them up. Then I've got a city sit over here on Salem. It's on 25%. Pierce is on 25%, and Coeur d'Alene is on 29%. And then if we go back over here, Vancouver's on 32%, so after tonight I can move that troop off. And then I just went here, got 38% on Victoria, so I just went up there, got the rare materials tile, came back down, and then this troop's just going to do some land grabbing really, and see if it can join up with this stack. And we're not far from seeing what's in Kelowna. Anything you want to go through in detail, Jonathan? Any bits of your map?
I was just looking at where you are, and you've got a really good position sitting in your corner up there. I've been considering the naval side of things, which is always important to consider.
Yeah.
We're focusing on pushing through on the land right now, but there's always this possibility that somebody could rock up on our west side, and especially for me, take a few of my cities. You've only got one little naval track that goes up all the way up to your cities up there, which I could cover in one place after building some ships in Eureka. And then I think as well as pushing east, we need to work all the way south and kind of hold the Panama Canal, which you can see is right down the southeast of San Jose.
It's the only way we can get through, isn't it?
Yeah. And once we kind of control that, then that would give us freedom to move ships through to Cuba and Haiti and all of the East Coast. So more late game battles could be really key to hold as well.
Yeah, we've got a pretty strong coalition forming down here, and this player, Yucatan, who's purple, near Tim, they're just expanding south, and they'll soon have that whole area, so that's going to be really challenging to get through that Panama Canal. And I think they're teamed up with Cuba and maybe Florida. Let's have a look again. Let's see who they are. There's another coalition that's popped up, and it's building as well. It was only one member, but earlier today, now it's got 2. So the alliances are forming, coalitions are forming, and people are starting to build their power. So let's see this coalition. Yucatan,
Colorado,
Florida,
and Minnesota.
Haiti.
Yeah.
Florida, Haiti. Okay. Cuba. So one coalition is Yucatan, the purple, Haiti, which are in blue in this corner, and then did I say Florida over here? But you look at Cuba, they're active. and they're going over to Kingston already. So we've got quite a few active players down in that corner. And what were you saying about these other players?
Yeah, Colorado, kind of one of our next targets. He's a quite a high level player, and he's in coalition with Mississippi.
Minnesota?
Yeah, sorry, Minnesota.
Where's
I was just trying to find.
Oh, Minnesota's there. It's kind of in the middle in the north. It's green.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a bit of trouble with Colorado, but there's going to be both of us cracking into him. He's going to struggle, but that's going to be a hell of a battle. It really will be. It must be. Yeah,
we're just going to end up surrounding him. Really.
Yeah, he's building on every city, isn't he? And he's got quite a few things going on with his arms industries and everything. So that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how all this unfolds. I'll definitely build a navy because I mean, luckily enough, I do have one city with a port, so I can build that up. And I quite like going for a destroyer first. I did that in one game, and it worked really well because you can get a really powerful boat early on if you want to invest in it, and then sort of build in up to the frigate and get the frigate. I quite like the frigate destroyer combo until you can get up to a cruiser. So whichever way you get to it, whether you do the corvette first to a frigate and do frigates, or if you just go straight in for a destroyer. But what do you think you'll go for in boats?
I'm just looking at how much is shallow water and how much is deep water, and most of the important land is shallow water. So I'm going to go for the elite subs. Normal subs are actually really weak in shallow water, but the elite subs are actually the strongest in the shallow water. Yeah, and just a few of those can sit in some of the shallow water next to our cities, and yeah, really, really well defend them.
I've unlocked elite subs. Yeah, they are killer, aren't they? Let's look at the stats. So 9 attack against boats, 7 against subs. But there's a weirdness, isn't there? Like you can only build 3 per level or something.
Yeah, it's like with all the elite units. On the first level you can only build 3. I think generally on the second level it's 6, and then on the third level it goes up to like 10 or 15. Depends. You always need your secret weapons lab to build them to.
Secret weapons lab, naval base level 2. But where does it say that? Because I remember seeing it once where it says the max. Oh, here we go in the features. So maximum number of elite submarines, 3. It says there. So where all these icons are in the features bar, max 3, and then if you go up to the next level and have a look, it then says max 6. So you can have a look at how many you can get there. Yeah, elite subs are really cool. They're really I'm glad I've unlocked them. Are we in a new season yet?
Not quite.
We not.
Well, the most recent season has ended. They're currently testing the new season, I believe.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, every season they release a new unit, which is what you can see in the seasonal tab. Is every season that's been so far. So I no idea what this new unit is. I would love to know if anyone has
show them
any clue. But it'll be very exciting when that comes out. I believe it'll be later this month. So we were trying to time the release of this new series with the new unit, but we decided to go for this one straight away. And I'm sure we'll be covering this new unit in due course.
We're just trying to have a look at the seasons tab, but it's not really loading. Is that because it's finished?
Potentially.
Maybe it's just slow.
Not really sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the new unit is, because if you have a look at it, we're kind of at the end of the row, aren't we? In research and then seasons. Yeah, what are we on? Season 6 or something?
It will be season 6 when it goes into it. We've just finished season 5. And just to clarify, each season there's a unit, and you need a certain number of points each season to unlock the season's unit, and you need to have the premium membership to permanently unlock it. So I think it's like 2,000 points each season. How long does each season last? Like a few months at least, isn't it?
I'm not sure. So I think So I've unlocked the elite sub. I haven't unlocked anything else. I'm kind of just playing 1 or 2 games at a time. So I need to play more games to build up the points. But I've unlocked elite sub. So maybe it's a month or just over a month at a time per season.
Oh, you managed to unlock it in the end.
Got the elite sub, yeah, which is the main one.
Yeah.
I thought I'd unlocked railgun. I'm pretty sure I built a railgun, so I don't know why that's not unlocked. That's strange. Or is it because I didn't have the membership and then it's locked it again? Who knows?
Yeah, potentially. Because you probably had access to those in the first game, and yeah. Another thing to consider is that it's when you started the game that the units are available.
Yeah.
Not when the season is currently at. So in the game we're in, even when the new unit comes about, we're not going to be able to use it until we go into a new game, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. And I will say, I'm going to buy. We've been buying the what's it called? The Security Council membership, and what it gives you is pretty much 2 things. It gives you a queue, so when you build stuff you can just press the egg timer button and it will queue it. So when the hospital's done, say I want to build an army base, queue it and it adds it there. Same with units, you can queue up units all the way along with 4 slots. It gives you a marginal advantage, not too much. It just means that you don't have to wait a couple of hour gap in between building stuff, and you can plan. So, for example, if you, and this is a really interesting one, Jonathan. I don't know if you've ever done this, but say, for example, I'm building a hospital, and next I want to build, a level 2 army base. You can queue it up, and then it will say, this one says starts in about 16 hours, and then it doesn't have anything about waiting for components or anything like that. But say, for example, I don't have enough resources, it will say waiting for components starts in 3 days. And so what that can help you do is plan, and you can say, right, I'm going to need more components, I'll buy some in the shop, or I'm going to build up my component cities a bit more, so that it can get a bit more 3-dimensional. But the other thing you can use is fire control. So when you've got like any ships or a rocket launcher, you can say, well, I'm going to set the fire control. For example, if I see any unit, I'll set it to aggressive, and it's just going to attack them the second it sees them. Or you can like hold fire and put it on hold fire so you can run away and stuff like that. Fire control is quite useful, but again, marginal advantages, quite marginal, but nice to have.
And you've also got rally points as well. So your troops, as soon as they're made, they go to a certain location.
Yeah.
And there's
one. Send everything.
Unlocking the premium unit, and there's the chat function as well, which obviously like we're not using because we're using Discord.
Oh yeah, we've never used chat function. Discord's a bit better than the chat function. Can if you use the chat function, could espionage reveal some of your messages?
I'm really not sure. We know that when you're using the standard chat function, which is messaging a player through the diplomacy tab, that can be picked up with the intelligence operations. But I actually don't know.
There's a bit of global chat on there.
Presumably you can chat with your coalition, and the global chat, is that with the game, or is it with like literally everyone?
Just other Security Council members, I think.
Yeah. But it's a nice little feature, not everyone playing this game goes in knowing people to join a coalition with. It's very nice that we've done that, but it's also nice to meet players who you've never played with before and win a game with them.
I've had a message pop through from Texas saying, I've been searching for so long to find you, City Gamer. I'm under a new account playing as a member state to a country I hate, just to communicate with you. Okay, that's cool. So it looks like it's someone who's watching Texas. So I wonder if they are actually American, if they are saying they don't necessarily like the state that they've gone in to play. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities. Yeah. Interesting. So Texas is watching. Hello, Texas. He's going to be right in between you and Tim at some point. And okay.
Yeah.
I have to see how that goes.
See what he does.
I think we've had possibly Panama say they're watching, and someone else. I can't. Do you remember what I said? I'll have a look on WhatsApp.
No, I don't. But I remember you posted there were a couple of cities there. Yeah.
PA and NC. NC. Who would they be?
North Carolina.
Yeah, where's that?
North of South
North Carolina. There we go. Yeah. So we've possibly got North Carolina, Texas, and
it shows
Panama
how well we know the US. It's a little bit of education playing this.
Oh
game.
God, there's so many states. It's like
Yeah,
dozens,
no
aren't there?
Yeah.
Hundreds of states.
We're used to our little island. We've got London and Manchester and Birmingham.
I know there's only like five cities in the UK across the pond. Okay, well, I'm liking how this is going so far. So when we started the game, it filled up very quickly, and then the episode was released later that day. So there's no one who's planned to be in this. It's just who's happened to be in this game. So that's interesting, and liking it so far. So we'll have an interesting episode tomorrow to see the expansion, and then the danger of Colorado for sure, and then all these other alliances popping up. So any last thoughts, Jonathan?
He's actually come to attack me on Kingman, and I might just sit here and hold the line because I think I've got enough defense. So that there'll be an interesting battle happening overnight. But,
wow!
Yeah, we've got to be very careful because we have no idea what is to come.
And he's got troops behind him. You're in pretty much. Oh, do you think you'll? Have you seen what he's got? He's got.
Yeah, I know.
2 combat recon, and 4 troops, 6 units altogether, and you've got an infantry officer, motorized infantry. You're going to have incoming damaged reduced by 25%, and you've got a plus 25% defense on your troops being in an urban area.
Yeah.
And for your infantry officer as well. And your infantry officer's got huge defense, so 9.3 against troops, 6.7 against hard targets. And the combat recon, no bonuses in an urban area, so they're just going to go on you mano a mano, but they've got 4.5 attack against troops. So that's 9 attack. So they've got 15 attack against troops, which is what you are. And you're going to have 9.3 plus 3.8. Let's just call that 13. But you've got a 25% defense bonus. So my brain's hurting at this point, but you're just about you would just about beat the first units, but not necessarily the ones behind. Can you? I was going to say, can you build an underground bunker? Because
that's what I'm going for.
Even when you do like 1%, it'll give you some sort of defense bonus, and it'll tell you down here when you get a defense bonus. How long have you got? 1 hour 9 minutes.
Yeah.
You could run away to your big stack.
I could. I could just retreat to Mexicali.
You could get your big stack to go back to Aguila in between the two, in between Kingsman. Okay, but anyway, you've got options. You can rendezvous in the province southeast and then crack back in with a full stack, and that way you've got your infantry officer buffing your full stack, or what, I don't know. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that pans out, because it looks like you're under the gun there, Jonathan.
Certainly am. So I'm going to have to make a play sooner or later, but I haven't quite decided what it is. We'll find out tomorrow.
Very nice. And I've got a new message again. So join us tomorrow night, live and direct. It's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Over and out.